Hello, Bill Colodzi here in round one of our Amonkhet draft with blue-red spells. So this hand, this hand has a lot going for it. It needs to draw a blue, and I'm going to just save the Hieroglyphic Illumination for some card advantage later, and it gets there. We do get our blue. So no need to run this out if you're not desperate for anything in particular, because you're just giving up a lot of good value there. We can play our attacker first, because ultimately our deck does need to win by attacking. And they've got a Watchful Naga. Well, we can play a Naga here too to help our draws out. It'll also be difficult for them to attack through it. I don't mind just getting this 2 damage in. Even if they have the removal spell, it does force them to use it. Wow, so I'm not going to put any of these in our graveyard, but we can put Initiate on top, then Keeper, then Island. So we draw that island and keep going from there. Yeah, any number of removal spells can sort of trade here. So it might have been wrong to attack with the Sure Shot. Time will tell if it works out for us or not. If it does exert, we're kind of attacking back for 2 or 4. And our card advantage engine is pretty good as well. Okay, so it doesn't look like this thing's going to attack. They discard Plains, our Naya deck over here. Nice, so we got some nice extra damage in there. I will play this out. Tormenting Voice we can hold off till way later. But I don't mind just crushing in here for 4. Give them a similar option next turn to find a trick or hold their Naga back. Another option there was to pump the Sure Shot once and play out the Crab. But this is just better. They can just exert an attack into the Crab, but not so much the Drake. Okay, so they're coming in here. They've already drawn the card anyway. 7. I don't want to offer our Drake blocking. It gives them an easy way to take it down with a trick, and we're actually giving them a lot of pressure in the air, so if they let us attack a few times, they're in bad shape. Okay, they do manage to deal with it. But we can just attack back for 4, and then we're threatening lethal next turn with the pumps and our Glyph Keeper. Yeah, deal with that. They need 2 stinging shots to take it down, and then 2 more if we ever get to embalm it. So, wow, that's a good blocker here. So we can get in 7 if we sacrifice our Sure Shot. Or we could just get in 5, and that cuts them in half. And play out a flyer. Looks good to me. So they need to find something like Giant Spider or Face Destruction. We haven't hit our land drop here. It's tempting to cycle the Illumination, but ultimately it doesn't seem worth it, depending on what happens here. Alright, Desperation, cycle of the Monitor. But if they hit land and Giant Spider, I guess they're all set. Nice. Some kind of Naya deck. It doesn't look ultra aggressive. We could side into some more early drops like Nephcrop Entangler and Nimble Blade Kenra to kind of survive. But if we don't need to do that, then I'm happy enough sitting back. The other consideration is They're playing large creatures, but Floodwaters doesn't really deal with the size of that, the hexproof thing, because it can't even target it. So our deck was pretty well set up against this type of thing we're facing. From the Cult of Luna. Must be Tamio's cult or something. So I imagine they want to be on the play just to try to race our flyers. Alright, what's it going to be? They do take the play, it's common, and our hand is fine. It doesn't have the immediate red, but last game we were lucky enough to draw the land we needed. And here, this is where you want to cycle your hieroglyphic illumination, because we're not guaranteed to really hit our land drops. And so we don't. We could try to slow down our opponent by bouncing this Vitalist, and I think we do that. Hopefully we don't hit 2 lands in a row. No, so that worked out pretty well for us. We weren't hitting lands in a while, but that's just the luck of the draw. I'll tell you though, we do need to hit land if we're going to continue playing Magic. That was a land. And we mill their Mountain and Champion. Sometimes it's hard to tell what you mill. They're holding Vitalist back, fair enough. Our only play here, well, yeah, the Guardian comes back for 4. So literally our only play is to get a crab, which prevents some damage, but it doesn't really prevent anything else. And their turn 5, they're still on, well, 2 lands, but 3 total mana, so we're pretty even in that regard. And they discard Greater Sandworm instead of trying to cycle it. Okay, red? Blue's still good. It's no red, but it's still fine. 4, they're looking at maybe 5 mana next turn, so we can't commit the hexproof guy, but we can commit it as a spell. Give us some time to deal with it. Here we're just going to cast Naga Oracle and try to get a mountain. Okay, we don't need this Tormenting Voice. That'll do better in our graveyard, but I'm happy to keep the Glyph Keeper, and we can draw that after our mountain. This guy's being an all-star this game. So yeah, I don't imagine they come through, but they'll be able to get through with the Scavenger after this. Well, we've got some options here. I like just holding up our mana, because if they do try to come in with the Scavenger and make it unblockable, we can deem worthy it. We might even do that now. Yeah, let's just see what they do. Okay, the other thing is we could just Magma Spray the Scavenger, or even the Vitalist. We have a lot of options here. I mean, that's the advantage of this deck, is it's like chess. The more moves you have, sort of the better position you're in. So we've got a lot of moves here. They're all pretty close. We could try to put our opponent off mana by killing the Vitalist. We could either Magma Spray it and hold up Commit, or deem worthy it to draw a card. And we could try to stop the Scavenger from attacking by using deem worthy or Magma Spray. And Magma Spray is a little more appealing there to hold up Commit. So it's all kind of weird, isn't it? Ultimately, I'm just going to pass and try to be reactionary. This all interacts at instant speed. The downside here is it lets them tap out for mana, and it lets them exert with the scavenger. Alright, now or never. Yeah, let's go ahead. I mean, if they think it's important enough to try to get through here, I just want to kill this before it exerts. And they have 6 mana here, so if they go for their hexproof dude, yes, we got it. Well, 4 now. So it's the beneath the top 1 card. So they don't draw it next turn, but they do draw it the turn after. Let's get some offense going. Well, actually, how big is Enigma Drake? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 6/4. Oh, it even says in our hand. That's handy. Literally handy. But it's also not as efficient on our mana. Yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining. We could attack for 7 next turn with this. Yeah, let's do it. And I don't mind just attacking for 3 here. Because we are in a bit of a race. If we don't have a way of dealing with their hexproof. They find white. Draw some, or gain some life rather. And we're back to even. Oh no. Yeah. The red spell can kind of kill this. It might be safe to block the Vitalist, but we don't have any backup to stop them from doing anything. They're attacking because they figure they can get 1 extra damage in. It's just not worth it to block. Right, they had a Stinging Shot, which we did see last game. Fortunately, our Enigma Drake is still fairly large. Unfortunately, we can't put them off the 6 mana they need next turn. 7, we can kind of attack for 7 if we deem worthy. Oh no, they're flinging it too? Okay. Well, we could get everyone to shuffle up, and then they aren't necessarily drawing what they need. Oh no, that costs 6, we're not quite there yet. It's gotta be this Glyph Keeper that does the best job of racing. Has to race a 6/7 coming down next turn, but it flies over it, and we get the first hit. I'm not sure if this is the concession pause or if it's or what it is. Alright, here's the big guy. And if they give it some kind of cartouche, that does get annoying. But for now, yeah, our options are like draw some cards, deem something worthy. They've already got a Greater Sandworm in the graveyard, so that doesn't do much. We don't want to run off the memory, because that just refills their whole hand and gives them ways out of this. But yeah, we can just get in for the 5 here. Let's see. get Labyrinth Guardian back. That lets us attack for a little more next turn. We can't really do two things this turn unless we're cycling Hieroglyphic Illumination. But it is a little more mana efficient to bring back our Guardian. And it's more damage next turn than trying to play the Crab. Tormenting Voice. Oh, if only we could counter that. And what do they discard? It's hard to tell. Stinging Shot. Oh, they had another one. Well, yeah, that wouldn't deal with the Glyph Keeper. And they draw a Forest and play it immediately. And some other spell here, I guess. Oketra's Attendant. Good thing we saved Deem Worthy so we can get through at least one turn. And they're holding back, so that works pretty well. We'll just have to cast this Wholesale. They can get it back, but it gets us a little more damage in this turn. Yeah, I guess we cycle this to try to hit a land or something. That's fine. So they can spend some mana to get the Attendant back. We wouldn't be able to cancel that anyway. But if we find a way to bounce it, we have at least, well, I guess we have 3 cards that can do that in our deck. So maybe we go for that option. We could also just embalm this and bring it back shortly. Yeah, I guess I like the embalm plan out of everything here. And, well, if they keep playing creatures, it's not that good. We can almost attack for lethal, but they've got the 3 ground blockers. So I'm happy enough attacking with the Glyph Keeper and embalming our Aven Initiate. We don't get to hold counter magic up this way, but now we have 2 lethal flyers. Alright, so we got there. Good old Glyph Keeper, pretty hard to beat.